A question that I get asked quite frequently, and I've seen other people asking some of the top lads the same question, it's about how you actually prepare for a match. How do you make sure you've got everything? How do you cover all the eventualities? And how do you kind of do all that while still staying focused and open-minded about, you know, what match you might actually be faced with? For me, there's 4 simple steps. Every match I go through the same process, whether it's a venue I know, whether it's a venue I don't know, because you need to be at the top of your game. The competition out there is so fierce that you've got to have everything that you possibly need to try and give you the best chance of getting a result. The first bit you've got to do is research the venue. Now, it might be a venue that you already know, and that's fine, that's great. But unless you're one of these so-called full-time anglers that are spending 3-4 days on the same venue, where you're constantly up to speed with its moods and what kind of status and how it's fishing at this moment in time, you're going to need to do some sort of research. So it's good to build up a network of friends. It's easy to do now through social media, especially through Messenger. You might not necessarily have the phone numbers of a lot of people, but there are so many anglers now just keeping in touch through Facebook and on Messenger, where you can just quickly message somebody who's been. Even if it just gives you an idea of what bait to use, or just any little bit of information that's going to help give you an edge. Now, if it's a venue you've never been to before and you've no kind of contacts there, the internet is brilliant. Obviously, you can go on to, if it's a commercial fishery, if they've got a website with all their match results on, you can get information from that, which is perfect. If not, then obviously it's just a case of what I used to do. I used to keep a lot of the old DHP match fishing magazines, because a lot of them used to have features from certain venues. I don't do that so much now, because a lot of that kind of information is available on the web. So just go onto Google, you'll be amazed. Just type in the name of the venue and you'll be amazed what it comes up with. You know, it could come up with match results, you know, what kind of fish are in there, any little bit of information just to help you just build up a picture of what you might get faced with. The next step is really about your bait. Now, the reason why I'm saying this next is because there are certain baits out there. Yes, maggots, you can generally just walk into a tackle shop on the morning and buy them, that's not an issue. But there are certain baits like casters, sometimes with worms, and certainly with bloodworm and joker, where you need to order it in advance. There's nothing worse than finding out you need these baits and it's on a Thursday or Friday or the day before a match and you haven't got any, or you can't get hold of it. There's nothing worse. So if you address that nice and early in the week, if you've got to order your bait, you can order it. That's taken care of, it's off your mind, so then you can start thinking about your kit. So then on to your tattle. I mean, that's step 3, and if you're on top of your game with your tattle, if you're up to speed on things, especially if you know the venue, you might already have the rig set up, you might have the pole elastics, you know, you might have top kicks ready and all that kind of thing that might be suited perfectly for the venue. But if not, then obviously you're going to need to start sorting your kit out, because you've built up a picture of what you might be faced with, i.e. what baits you need, and a bit of research, i.e. what species, what size fish they are, what range you're fishing at, how far out on the pole, all because you've got all that information first. When you get to step 3 on the tattle bit, that should make that a little bit more focused, a little bit more specific, and just give you a better idea of what you actually need to prepare. And then the 4th and final step is something that I have certainly not been quite right with on the last 2 matches I've been on, and that is keep an open mind. Yes, you've got information about a venue. Yes, you know how it fished yesterday or the week before. Yes, you might know it, you might have fished it for 20 years, but you've still got to keep an open mind. I've gone to venues where I haven't been open-minded and I've won the match, purely because I've stuck to my guns, I've stuck to what I thought would work and what's worked in the past, and it's been brilliant. But certainly the last 2 matches I've fished this winter, if I'd kept a bit more of an open mind, I almost certainly would have caught more fish. So when I say keep an open mind, it just kind of means that keep an open mind until you draw your peg. When you get to your peg, when you see where you're actually going to go, then you can assess how you're actually going to fish it. This is all part of your match preparation. Everything you've done now is leading up to the point where you put your hand in that bag, you come out with your peg number, and then you are faced with that peg. You've then got to filter through everything you've prepared on the bank and apply it to that peg in whatever way you deem fit. all that's just about preparing for your match. You've got to make decisions when you get to your peg. You've got to make a decision how you're going to start your match, and you do that. Whether you change that is entirely up to you throughout the course of that match. If your plan's working, fine. Have a good look round, see what's happening around you, and with all these little bits of information, what you've caught, what you've tried, and whether you've had a good response or a negative response, what's happening that way and that way, all this is still all part of your match preparation. It's giving you information about helping you make decisions in that match. And so the bottom line is you can do as much preparation as you want at home. All that helps, of course it helps, having all the kit that you might possibly need on that bank with you, all the variations of rigs that you might need and rods and feeders. It's great. You know, you can't do enough prepping by mind. But if you're not going to apply it right on that specific day, on that specific peg, that is where the top lads excel, because they don't get it all right all the time. I've seen lots of them get it wrong for a good 2-3 hours into a match, but they've seen what's happened around them, they've read the signs, they've made decisions, they've made changes and made it work, and that's why they can be so consistent across all venues. Well, I hope that's helped some of you out that's been asking that question. It probably sounds a little bit in depth. I know there's a lot of lads that just watch this channel for a bit of entertainment, they just like to go fishing at the weekend, but I know there's a lot of people out there like myself who have got certain goals in fishing and they want to improve, and they want to look at areas where they can improve, and it's going to be a constant process. Even the very best anglers in the world are always learning. So that's it. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's video. If you haven't subscribed already, just click subscribe. That'll keep you in the loop with all the future videos. They're all free. It's free to subscribe. That'll just give you a notification of every time a video is uploaded. There's one every single night through January, and who knows what February will bring. Thanks for watching, really appreciate it, and I'll see you all tomorrow.